Good morning, everybody. I hope you're staying warm. Oh my gosh, it was so cold this morning walking. I was dressed in I had a long sleeve shirt on, a fleece jacket, and it wasn't my full heavy jacket, but my jacket without the liner. I had a hat on and gloves. I was freezing. Barb walks out. She's got capris on and just a fleece. And I was like, oh my God, I'm freezing. Hey, Peggy, glad you joined us. Hey, Barb. But yes, I have been freezing. I have long pants on. I have my slippers on. I'm prepared for the cold today. It's not going to get very warm, so I figured I'll stay inside and be warm in my toasty house. I haven't turned the heat on, so it's not too warm here, but I may have to break down and turn it on, but we'll see. You never know. You know, the sun might heat it up and I don't have to turn it on, but I would love it if I don't have to, because although it's supposed to be chilly the rest of the week, so I may have to break down and turn it on. Well, I hope you're all ready for some fun ideas today. I really had a lot of fun with this one. I used a stamp set that's going to be part of my class next month, and I had a good time with it. I had a great time designing all the cards. I did like 9 cards, and then I chose 4 to use in the class, and that's usually what I do. I do anywhere from 8 to 10 cards, and then I gotta pull my glasses down. It's a glare, but then I can't see, so oh well. But I usually do 8 to 10 cards, and then choose 4, and then use the rest for my Facebook Lives or my on my blog with videos. But I'm excited about the ones I've chosen. Oh, I know, Peggy. I feel for you. I don't know what I would do if I had to deal with that. It's not fun, but maybe it'll work and you'll be okay. I'm not going to wait too long to get started so that we can get them all in. I am doing, hey Diane, surprise, surprise. I didn't do all of the stamping this time because I wanted you to see what I did, just so you have an idea of how to do some of the pieces. Usually I do that ahead of time, so I didn't, but all the cutting and embossing I did. So other than the stamping, that's it. I think I'm gonna take another drink of my tea, and I hope you all have something warm to drink, and turn this around and we'll get started. Okay, I was playing with another idea this morning. I saw this, you know me, I see something and it strikes my fancy and I have to give it a try, but I saw this idea and I had to give it a try. So it'll be interesting to see. All right, now this is really crooked. I don't want to go down too far, because if I do, then I end up off camera. Hey Renee, it's the middle of the night, girl, what are you doing up? All right, I think I got it. Okay, the class next month, which registration opens November the 1st, I'm going to be using Lovely You and the punch. This is a bundle, and it's a punch rather than a die cut. And I love the sentiments in here, and I love these little images. So I've used that today. I did not use the punch, but I did use the stamp set. The other thing that I'm using today, and that's also in my class, is I loved the Boho Indigo kit, but I didn't like the stamp set. So I'm going to use the Boho Indigo refill kit And this is exactly what you're going to get, because you'll get half a kit, because I've pulled out half a kit that I've been using. But this is the paper so that you can see both sides. There's that one. And I had a lot of fun playing with this. I love some of the patterns. There's that one. And then that one. And then you also get, because there's two in there, you get a sheet of, oh, I didn't take out mine. It's stuck together. Okay. You get a sheet of this type of, I guess, sentiment banners, whatever you want to call it. A sheet of this, and this piece has fallen out. A sheet of these leaves, and it's got gold on there. Hey, Betty Ann. And then there are, that's kind of got mixed in with that. There are 3 different embossed pieces in here. There's this one, so you'll get 1 sheet of each. There's this one that has the diamonds. And there's this one that has the circles, which I think is a lot of fun. Okay, I know the, let me see. This is the first one. Hey, Linda. So it's that. I'm going to pull these closer and see if it's better. You can't really see the patterns on it. But there's this one that's got these like daisy patterns. Hey, Linda. And then there's this one that has the diamonds. And then there's this one that has the circles. This is from the kit, Linda. I wished we had these embossing folders. All right. Then you also get a package of these cute flowers. Now there's no glue dot on the back, but they're big enough and they're easy enough to get a hold of. But it's like this, and it's got this little thing in the center, and I just grab that and throw on the glue dot and then stick it down. And there's, so I think probably about 20 flowers in the package. So that's what you would get if you did the product selection, is this. And then I know I have ribbon, and I don't know what else I added in. And we're actually going to use the ribbon that you get. I have to think back and look and see. All right, so that's what I'm using this month. And now it's time to get started. Here's our first card. Now the happy birthday is not in the set. I took the happy birthday from 4 Season Floral. So you can use any happy birthday you have on this. So that one worked for me. And I'm pulling in a scrap paper because I'm going to do some off stamping. The Clean and Simple card has just a card base to it. And it's very vanilla because that's the color in the paper. And I used navy also because that's the color of the paper. I really liked that paper. I have enjoyed playing with it. All right, the first thing I used was the, I don't know, stems, for lack of a better term. And then using, I think I used Seaside Spray for the background. So let me open both of these and I'm set. So I've got my Seaside Spray. And I did off stamp it. All right. So I just stamped my 2 sprays in the middle. Then I took my flower. Make sure I've got it inked up good. And I inked it up with Night of Navy. And when I stamp this, I'm going to keep the bottom close to here because I want my flower up a little higher so it doesn't get lost in all the background. So I stamped my simple flower. Then I took my happy birthday. I'm just checking to make sure I've inked it up good. And I'm going to stamp it at the bottom. And there it is, the clean and simple card. Easy to do, but so pretty. I mean, it's a great simple card. But suppose you want to step it up some. So what I did was I went from there to this. So I used the same basic idea with that image in the center. And I'm going to pull in my measurements. All right. The first thing you need is a piece of vanilla that's 2.5 by 3 1/4. And I'm going to put my paper on top of here because I'm going to do some stamping off the edges. I'm going to start again with my leaf spray, and I'm going to off stamp it, and I'm going to stamp it once and twice. And I kind of came down a little bit to give it some interest so that it's not all on the same level. All right. Then I'm going to take my flower and I'm going to ink it up in Night of Navy and put it in the center. I wanted some more interest, so I pulled the little flower out, and using Night of Navy, I'm going to off stamp, and I'm going to stamp it around my edges. All right, when I feel I have enough, in fact, I think I did some extra. I'll just add a couple in there. I did a second and a third generation without re-inking. All right. It was still too bare, so to speak. So I pulled in this little image that has the cute little flowers on it, and I'm going to stamp it with a second generation of Seaside Spray, and I am taking and off stamping it, and I'm just filling in wherever I feel I need some more. So what I'm doing is I'm creating the background. Oh, bye Peggy, sorry. You can always watch the replay. All right, so I just filled it in where I felt it needed some filling in. So I have my panel created. All right, let me move this out the way. Then I needed a piece of the Boho Indigo paper that's 2 3/4 by 3 1/2, and I'm going to layer the two of these together. And there's so many papers to choose from in here. I had a hard time deciding which ones to use. Usually there's one or two that I'm not real thrilled with, but not in this set. Okay, so I'm going to take and hold it down. All right. I'm going to then add that panel to a piece of Night in Navy that's 3 by 3 3/4, like so. Okay. I'm watching my sides to make sure I get it on there straight, or as straight as I can. All right. This is the ribbon that I used in the class, and this is the metallic, gold metallic edged ribbon. And all I did with this was I took and wrapped it around the panel and tied a knot in the center. All right, I'm pulling north to south because then I want my ends to go east to west. So then I pull it east to west like so. All right, I'm gonna cut the ends off here. And I have this ready to go onto my card base, which is again very vanilla, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And this piece I'm going to put on with dimensionals. So I'm going to pull my dimensionals over here. And before I put that all together and get those things stuck, I'm going to straighten out. When I flipped it over, I could see my ribbon was really wonky. So let me get some more ribbon or more dimensionals on here. And I'm just adding them all around the sides, and then I'll go back and add in the center. All right, I need one here, and then I'm going to do one here and one down here and one in the middle because I'm straddling that ribbon. All right, now it's time to take my backs off. I think I bent the tips on these when I put it in my, I just drop it into my crock that I have over here, and I think it bent the tip. I may have to take and file it down, see if I can't get it straightened again. I don't want to file it too much because then it's too thick. Hey Lynn. All right, so we're going to add this. I'm going to make sure I've got the front. Yep. I'm going to add this, and I'm going to go kind of up to the top a little. This one was close. I'm going to go a little higher on this because I have to have space for my sentiment, which is again stamped with the Night of Navy. Oops, that doesn't look inked up. Try it again. That looks a little better. And I'm going to stamp it straight in the middle. And there's the stepped up version. But what if you want to go one further? Let's make it a wow card. So the image panel is almost the same. The sizes are all the same. The only thing I did was I stamped and cut out my flower. So, and it's not a hard flower to cut out, and I know what you're all thinking. And it's like, yeah, you say that, but it is. It isn't bad. It really isn't. So I'm going to pull in all my pieces that I need for my layers, and I'm going to start with, flip this over, start with creating my background. So I'm using my spray, and I'm going to off stamp it. Ooh, almost off stamped it on the wrong thing. All right, so I've got that off stamped. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add my flower. And this time I'm going to do the second and third generation. So I'm going to do this. Oh, that one's not going to show up. There we go. See, that's what happens if you don't watch what you're doing. All right, then I'm going to take that little bud type thing, and I'm going to fill in my edges, and I am turning it to give it some interest. Let's get that one there. Let's get that there. Do you know how many times I had to do this before I remembered to off stamp? Oh my gosh. I was stamping and then I'd forget, and it was a mess. A mess, a mess. I redid it 3 or 4 times. All right, so now I've got my background created, and I love this stamp set because it is perfect for creating backgrounds. I love the little images in here. All right, so I can get that out of the way now. Let's get our layers going. And the layers are exactly the same. This piece is 2 3/4 by 3 1/2. So it's 1/4 of an inch bigger each time. I just found it easier to do the 1/4 of an inch. All right. So I'm going to add this. And this one has that cute leaf pattern on the back. But I thought it would be too busy with this. All right. And then we're going to add this to our Night of Navy, which is 3 by 3 3/4. Okay. Oh, I said I wasn't using the punch. I am using the punch. I totally forgot. Oh my gosh. Oh, upside down. Not that it matters, I could have turned it around, but I probably wouldn't have thought of it before I stamped the flower. Actually, I'm not stamping the flower. I've cut the flower out. All right, what I did was, and I'm going to show you how to stamp and cut the sentiment using that. I'm going to set this aside because I took the Ornate Floral embossing folder and I embossed a piece of vanilla that is 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to add my ribbon across the bottom. All right, I'm going to flip this over and use my tear-in tape. So my ribbon stays down. And I have to use tear-in tape anyway because this is embossed. So let me get my tear-in tape on here. Then I'm going to use my pokey tool. Pull off the backs. Okay. And I'm going to go back to the front to add my ribbon because then I can make sure I don't go up too high. I can't go too high and I can't go too low or my sentiment won't be in the middle. Okay. All right, so I have my ribbon on. Now I'm going to take my add my tear-in tape around the edges. I wanted to change this up because, you know, maybe have a little bit more time. Hey, Joyce, and you want to spend some time making a little bit more elaborate card. So that's what I did. And I thought the Ornate Floral embossing folder went really well with these flowers. It's got a lot of flowers on it, but they're kind of, they're almost like this kind of a flower. All right, this I'm going to add to my card base, and this time I used Night of Navy, which is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. All right, and I'm going to move that out of the way just till I'm ready for it again. I'm going to take my backs off. Oop, that one wasn't stuck down. It was pulling the whole thing. So I'm going to take my backs off of here. Ooh. Got a extra hair underneath there, so I'm going to rip it out. Don't need any extra pieces being included. All right, and I'm going to take off the last two pieces. See if it's not perfectly straight. It doesn't like to get under, but I can feel that there's the tip of it is, hey Marie, is bent because it hooks up and catches. All right, I'm going to add this to my card base. I'm watching my spacing. All right. This goes on with dimensionals. So I'm going to pull my dimensionals back in. I have a piece of a strip over here with one on it I'm going to grab. All right. Like so. Here's this and this. All right, I've got to cut some more. All right. I could see this done in so many colors. I mean, it would be gorgeous in pinks, yellows. Hey, Barbara. Lots of colors. But I like the navy, since it goes with the paper. That's another reason. Oh, thanks, Renee. Usually the pokey tool will grab this, but a lot of times it's flicking it rather than grabbing it. I have to remember to line that hook up just right. All right, now this, and I'm going to put it on the right way, is going to go on the top, and I'm going to keep it close to the top. This one was a little close also. Then I'm going to take, and I had already stamped and cut out my image, so I'm going to add it to the back, and I've got one lone piece over here, half a piece. And then what I'm going to take and do to get these little tiny areas here, I'm going to take a half of one and I'm going to cut it in half again. And I'm going to put it up there, and I put the larger end down toward the bottom because it had more space there. Okay, let me turn this around, get that on there. Now I'm going to take my backs off and add it to, well, that one doesn't want to come off. The half ones are harder. Usually what I do is I get it started one end and then I just pull it off. All right, got that. Now let me get these out of the way. All right, and I'm going to put this on my card front like so. Now we have to do our sentiment. And what I did was, this piece is, I said a scrap, but it's actually 2 inches by, so it's 7/8 by 2 inches. And you're thinking, that is too tiny to go into the punch. And it truly is. But what I did was, I took a Post-it note and I cut it to about 7/8 of an inch. And I put this on here. Gotta open this up or it won't work. So this is a way to use your punch and get a smaller a size that's small that fits your, it's not all the way in. Because see, there's no way. That piece is all the way inside. I think it's in there now. Yeah, but it's not straight. So I'm watching I'm using my Post-it note to kind of help me get it in there. All right, got it in there, and I'm going to punch. It only takes off a little bit, so I accounted for that. Then I'm going to take and I'm going to turn this around, and I'm going to do the same thing again. And this one, you have to kind of feed in. I'm going to flip it over. There we go. And punch it. And there I have my piece. We're going to do the same thing with the navy. And I know I put a scrap, but I actually figured out it is 1 inch by 2, 1 inch by 2 1/4. I accounted as to how much would be cut off. So we're going to put this in. We're going to feed it in. I'm going to make sure it's in there straight, which it is. Then I'm going to take it out, flip it over. And you can save this Post-it note and use it over and over again, because you're not really, it's not getting punched or anything. It's just getting used. So now I have my 2 pieces cut. All right, I'm going to move my punch out of the way. I'm going to take my vanilla piece and I'm going to ink up my sentiment. And I'm going to stamp it, and I better make it sure it's straight. There we go. Stamp my sentiment, and I think I moved my hand, so it's a little crooked, just slightly. All right. This piece then gets glued on there. You should have seen me trying to figure out what size I needed to cut the pieces of paper for, to show you. All right, and then I'm just centering it. And see? Perfect. All right, this goes on with dimensionals, and I'm just going to put 3, 1 at each end and 1 in the middle. And I'm going to see, that one went flying. So did that one. I don't know. All right. I'm going to add this right to the bottom, like so. And then to finish it off, I'm going to add a bow, because I wanted a bow on this one. Now, you don't have to add a bow. You could leave it like that, but I wanted a bow. So I'm going to tie myself a tiny bow. I know you're all saying, oh, it's so tiny, but that's okay. I'm going to fix this one because it's flopping over. All right, so I've got my bow, and I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to trim my ends. And then I'm going to add it with 2 glue dots, and I'm going to add it at an angle. All right, that piece, get back there. All right, so there's 1 and another 1, so 2 glue dots right around that knot. It didn't look right, so that's the reason why I put it at an angle. And I just kind of angled it. It's not really straight up and down, it's more at an angle. And there's the wow card. So what do you think, ladies? We went from clean and simple to stepped up to a wow card. And the basic stamping was the same. Oh, thanks for the hearts. Thanks, Linda. I thought so too. I'll be honest with you, I love this paper. I've been attracted to it and I never bought it, but I thought, you know what? This would be a great class because a lot of people don't need, let me see, in that kit, you get, let's see what if it tells you what you get. No, it doesn't, but I can look in the catalog. It gives you so much that, you know, you don't really need it all. But there's the kit, and I'm not into vases, so that's the reason why I thought, oh, Lovely You will go. Let's see. The refill kit has 48 sheets of 6x6. You don't need 48 sheets. So with the product share, you'd get 24. You get 6 sheets of the Very Vanilla 6x6 that's embossed. So you'd get one of each of those because the 3 of them are the same, or 2 of them are the same. 6 sheets of die cuts, so you'd get one of each sheet because there's only 3. And 40 paper flowers. Well, you don't need 40, you're going to get half, which is 20. So I think that's a great way to play with this paper and not have a ton of it left. And like I said, the patterns are gorgeous. I just loved the patterns. But I just thought that that paper went really well with the, and I totally forgot to bring the cards again. Darn. Really well with the Lovely You stamp set because there were a lot of little tiny images in the paper. You know, little flowers, little vines and everything. See, there were little vines and they have them. And I think there's even a vine. Yeah, there's a vine very similar to it in here. So to me, it was a great set. And I love the smile. I use Just Because a lot, and we didn't have one, and now I do. I have used, where's the one? I took off Cherished, or I didn't ink it up, and I've just used Friend because it's a bigger font. So, you know, lots of cute sentiments in there also. All right, let me turn this around. I hope you enjoyed today's cards. And let's see what I can do. There we go. I'm going to turn my light out because of the glare on my glasses. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. Move my sentiments up. I'm going to grab my tea because I'm freezing. Oh, I'm glad you thought it was fun, Linda. I thought so too. I had a great time. I did all the work, and I'm looking forward to, yeah, they recycle those flowers. I don't care what anybody says, they do. So you may have an older set that works. I'm working on my card for Monday. Don't forget, I'm going to do a Zoom. I will post the link and the measurements so that we can craft together. So we're going to all make a card together. I'm just giving you measurements. I'm not saying what we're going to do with it or anything. So I'll tell you card base. There will be DSP. So if you want to pick out your DSP, then you can pick out your cardstock that coordinates with it. So that's where I'm headed this afternoon, is to do that, so that I can get that posted so you have plenty of time to cut it before Monday. So I hope I see you Monday on Zoom. And like I said, the link will be there. So all you have to do is click the link and I'll admit you, and we'll have some fun playing together, making a card. I don't think there's, oh, paper sale ends today. Place your order where the paper is on sale for 15% off. Yes, noon, Linda, Eastern Standard Time. Oh, good. Glad you got it, Lynn. Was it the one I sent you or the one from Stampin' Up? So we'll have to schedule that Zoom then too, so we can put those together. And I'm going to work on the other ones. for Snowfront. All right, ladies, I'm going to get ready and go so that I can go finish my tea and get my day going. I want to get that card fixed. Oh, okay. Get my card fixed so I can take and send it out and post it so you guys all have it. You guys stay warm. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday for a Zoom. Bye.